My name is Mathieu Beausoleil, and although I'm not a classically trained chef, my passion for cooking and refined palate have earned me great respect in the culinary industry. Join me as I taste my way around the world, one bite at a time. This is Takin' a Bite, Ottawa. Having the right tool for the task at hand is key, and when we're talking about the kitchen, a great knife will make a big difference. Let's see my friend Chris at Knifewear, and he'll tell us everything he knows about knives. Hey Chris, how you doing?
Good. You?
It's been a little while.
Yeah.
Things are good?
Yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be here today. I mean, one of the biggest questions I get all the time is, should I invest in a knife? So you know what? I came to the expert today.
To me, it's an easy answer. If you've got a knife that you enjoy using, you'll enjoy using it. So, makes cooking a lot easier. You'll start cooking at home more. You'll make better food for you and your family.
Cool. And like, if we're looking at like a price point that somebody's gonna get, if they're gonna come in and buy a knife, they're gonna buy one knife. What is a good price point for them to work at?
A chef's knife, they start around $75-$80,
right?
And then they go up from there.
Cool. So I mean, when we're looking at a knife and looking at shapes of knives and different types of steel, can you show us different options? And,
yeah, for sure.
And what they're good for?
Most people are concerned about that all-purpose knife.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So something like this.
Right.
This is called a gyuto, which translates to a cow sword. So gyu is the Japanese word for cow.
Right.
To is one of the many words that relates to blades.
Okay.
This is like your classic French chef's knife.
Right.
Okay? You do everything with it.
Right.
Compare that to this, which is called a santoku.
Right.
Santokus, some people say it's 3 virtues or 3 problems solved. So you can do meat, fish, vegetables with it.
Right.
I've also heard people say it's good for slicing, dicing, and mincing.
Right.
So you can kind of cover everything.
Right.
A lot of people say a gyuto is an all-purpose knife that is a little better suited to meat preparation.
Okay.
Whereas a santoku is maybe a little bit better if you're heavier on the veggies.
Right.
Okay.
Makes sense. But at the same time, I guess whatever you're comfortable with is going to be your weapon of choice.
I always tell people to, when you're picking out a knife, get the one that's maybe just a little too big. You're a little bit afraid of it. You'll get used to it.
Right.
But you'll always come across that melon that's too big, or that cabbage, or maybe you've got people over for dinner and you've got a giant roast and you have to carve it and all you have is a santoku.
Yeah.
My chef's knife's as big as this.
Wow, yeah.
But about that tall.
Yeah. And my favorite
my
favorite part about that length is getting one clean slice.
Oh yeah.
When you're cutting through something, no jagged cuts. It's a perfect clean slice.
The other big thing that people are concerned about is maintenance.
Yeah.
All right. So the Japanese knives, you've got 3 situations for maintenance.
Right.
You've got something like this guy.
Right.
This is a stainless steel.
Right.
All right. Now it's a really nice stainless steel.
Yeah. Nice and shiny. It's beautiful.
Well, it's SLD, so it's harder. It's a harder steel than most other available stainlesses. Okay. So the maintenance on this is a lot less than say this one, which we had earlier. This knife is clad in iron.
Right.
So it's a much more reactive material. If you leave this knife wet on the counter, you'll come back to a rusty knife.
Exactly.
Your biggest rules are that you want to make sure you're keeping it dry when you're not using it. You're chopping 20 onions.
Yeah.
Every 5 onions, just wipe it off.
Oh yeah.
Just get in the habit of wiping it off.
Right.
Your rules are the same for every knife, really, stainless or carbon. You always want to wash and dry by hand. You want to store it somewhere safe where the edges aren't going to get banged around.
Right.
You're not going to cut yourself reaching into a drawer. Cool. And then just kind of sharpening.
Right.
Or rather honing.
Honing. Right.
Honing is a better way to go about it.
Honing, for the sake of the viewer, it's not necessarily sharpening, right?
No.
We're straightening that edge to maintain that sharpness for a longer period of time.
Yeah, when you put a knife to a stone, steel gets removed.
Exactly.
But when you put a knife against ceramic, it just gets shaped back into...
so get a nice straight edge.
Exactly.
When do you sharpen a knife? How often do you sharpen a knife?
A lot of our customers like to bring their knives in every 6 to 8 months. I find with Western style knives, you kind of almost got to cut it in half every 3 or 4 months. But my test is if I'm making dinner, I slice a tomato, my knife doesn't feel so good, I'll try it on the honing rod.
Yeah.
If it still doesn't slice the tomato, it's time to put it to a stone.
All right, so here we are. Picked my knife.
You got a gyuto, a 240 millimeter gyuto is a really good all-round chef's knife.
Exactly.
A little bigger than what a lot of people look for, but I think it's the right size.
Yeah, I mean, I love the long blade for the slicing, and I mean, I love the finish for the look of it, you know, and the iron is great hardness.
Yeah.
So that's excellent. All right, man. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for helping educate our viewers on, you know, how to buy a good knife and how valuable it is, right?
Wicked.
Until next time, man.
Yeah, you got it. Good to see you.